Welcome to the Monday Mile edition of the Over-50 Health and Wellness Show, your quick hit of inspiration and practical advice to kickstart your week strong. Each Monday, I'll be joined by one of our Silver Edge coaches as we tackle one specific topic you might be struggling with, whether that's nutrition, fitness, mindset, or lifestyle, and we'll break it down into clear, simple, actionable tips you can start using today. And here's the best part. You can knock out this episode on your morning walk. Just lace up those sneakers, hit the pavement, and let us coach you through the first mile of the week. Okay, let's get moving. Coach Monica, welcome to the Monday morning. Nope, not Monday morning. What is it? Monday Mile.
Monday Mile.
Welcome to the Monday Mile edition of the Over-50 Health and Wellness Podcast. How's it going?
Thank you so much, Kevin. It's going great. This is my first one that I've done on a Monday Mile. I've been on the podcast lots of times, but we just haven't had the time to sit down and do a Monday Mile edition.
That's
so
right.
I'm happy to be here with you
Yeah,
today.
I'm glad you're here as well. We've done a few with Jess. We've done a few with Russ. So now it's fun to have you on here. Of course, every Monday we're bringing you guys some quick, actionable tips. And Monica, what I want to talk about today are superfoods. This gets a lot of press. They're flashy, they're sexy. Goji berries, if you remember, like what was that, 5-10 years ago? They were this exotic berry from the Amazon, and acai was the next big superfood. We have all these exotic superfoods that seem to capture our imaginations. They certainly capture headlines. But I want to talk about some of our favorite superfoods and why they're our favorite superfoods, and just give people an idea of what we're talking about when we say superfood. So let's just jump right into it. I thought it'd be kind of fun. You mentioned a couple of yours. I'll mention a couple of mine. We'll tell people why. But let's kick this thing off. What's one of your all-time favorite superfoods?
First off, I think we need to define what is a superfood.
Ooh, good call. Yep, let's have it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What is a superfood? So for myself, what I call a superfood is a food that is nourishing. When I eat it, it makes me feel great. I feel like I have great energy. I feel like my meal was complete with having that food in there. And I know that it's giving my body what my body needs.
Right on. Yeah. So
That's my definition.
Yeah, I would say, yes, very similar. I would say that we're looking for that nutrient density. So I want something that is packed with nutrients that's going to help optimize my health. I think that's fair. All right. Well, okay. We set some ground rules. That's kind of what a superfood is. It's got to be nourishing. It's got to be nutrient dense, and it's got to give your body what it needs to perform optimally. So what are some of your favorites? Let's start with one. What's a favorite superfood?
I'm going to start off with breakfast. My favorite superfood for breakfast is eggs.
Let's go. Yeah.
Love eggs. I eat eggs every single day. And I know I have a lot of clients who come to me when they first start working with me, and they're like, oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I eat eggs every day. I know I shouldn't because they're so bad for you. I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Eggs are good for you. I know back in the 80s when we had the fat-free diet, everything was the fad diet of the decade, really. And we still have a lot of holdover from that. At that point, everybody was telling us that eggs were bad for you because they had cholesterol, they had fat in them, and they were not good for you. Let's flip the script on that because eggs are really very good for you. They can contain a lot of nutrients that our bodies need. They can contain lutein, they contain selenium, and good healthy fats in the yolk, and lots of protein.
Yeah.
So many good things in there.
I'm with you. I think that an egg would probably top my list as well. I eat a ton of eggs, but you're right. The poor egg has really had some bad PR through the generations, hasn't it? When we were kids, eggs were bad. They were demonized, especially the yolk. There was a book, and I think it might even be called Eat the Yolk. I can't remember. It came out quite some time ago, and this was one of the first books I read that was really kind of flipping the script on our understanding of fat, our understanding of cholesterol, and of course we need cholesterol. We'll die if we don't have cholesterol, but we obviously want to have healthy cholesterol. We want to have healthy cholesterol levels, but our thinking around eggs were that we kind of demonized eggs, but it turns out, like you said, eggs are just these nutrient powerhouses. Now, I'm very lucky. I live on a small farm. I got my girls, so I got my chickens out back in a little hen house. They're free range. They run around eating bugs and other things, and they provide me with all the eggs I can eat. So like you, I eat a lot of eggs every single week, and I usually eat them for breakfast, and I think they are a fabulous way to start the day. They are satiating, so you feel full after you've eaten a few eggs. And yeah, just absolute powerhouses. Now, what is your favorite way to eat eggs? I know you have a pretty specific breakfast regimen, don't you, with when it comes to eating your eggs?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to find a way to eat eggs that I don't like. I think
Yeah, there you go.
I love eggs any which way and form, but my very favorite is probably a great veggie omelet. Love a great veggie omelet. I eat one of those almost every single day for breakfast. On the weekends, I will add a little bit of cheese into the omelet. During the week, it's just plain veggies, no cheese. But that's my very favorite way. I also love just a hard-boiled egg. It's so simple and easy. You can hard-boil a dozen on the weekend, and then you can toss them into this and that every day. Put an egg on your salad with lunch. Make some egg salad for a quick afternoon snack. Is a great protein-rich snack to have in. So there's so many different ways you can dress up, dress down, just peel it and eat it plain. Hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, I'm a big fan also of the hard-boiled egg. I like to peel them in advance, put them in a Tupperware because they're kind of stinky if you just leave them open in your refrigerator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I like a good omelet. I have ever since I did that podcast back with Udos Aramis. I'm gonna make sure I'm saying that name. But
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. I've been
The oils guy. Yeah.
The oils guy. You fry your food, fry your brain, fry your food,
Mm-hmm.
fry your brain. So I've been doing a ton of poached eggs. I just drop them into boiling water and let them cook for maybe 2 minutes. And because before that I was doing a lot of frying. And I'll still occasionally fry eggs. I usually will fry them in ghee or some beef tallow, something like that. But most commonly these days I'm poaching them, having them just plain. Usually have that with maybe some toast. Or another thing I like to do is just take my whatever protein I had the night before, and I'll just make like a scramble. So I got some protein. Monica, I know you would want me to say I slice and dice a bunch of veggies and throw them in there. Full disclaimer,
Yes.
I don't usually do that, and I know I should, but I'll very often take some leftovers, throw them in with the eggs, just scramble it all together and just make a big scramble. But yeah. I'm with you.
I'll do that too. I'll take whatever leftover meat I have from the night before. Usually I'll throw some veggies in there too.
Yeah,
I like
there
to
you go.
meal prep some veggies. I'm not so much on prepping like every single thing, but I do like to prep some veggies on the weekends because it makes a quick breakfast super fast. Chop up some onion and bell pepper and maybe some mushrooms or something like that. Put them in some little containers. Then you can just throw them in the pan. Yeah, super
Easy. Yeah, love it. All right, moving right along. What's next on your list for superfoods here?
My next one is blueberries. Any
Come
kind
on.
of berries are great. Blueberries, though, are my very favorite.
Yeah, so we talked about acai berries and what was the other berry I was talking about? The goji berry, right? The
goji berries, yeah.
And these caught our attention because they came from the Amazon rainforest and they had these high
they were
oxidants.
exotic,
They were exotic. They were different. They were new, and that got sold to us as being more healthy, say, than a blackberry or a raspberry or a blueberry. Turns out, no, not so much. The common blueberry,
They're the same.
right? The same. And in some studies I've seen, the blueberry edges everybody out when it comes to antioxidant load. But yeah, these are nutrient powerhouses. Again, I live on a farm. I'm very lucky. I think I'm up over 20 blueberry bushes that I've planted since I've been here.
Wow.
Some of them are like 12 feet tall. They're turning into trees. And we're recording this in July. And sadly, I'm getting towards the end of my blueberry harvest, but I've gotten gallons
Yeah.
and gallons of blueberries off of those bushes this year. I eat a ton of blueberries. And I eat blueberries every single day. So when they're not in season, I buy them frozen. So I've always got blueberries in the freezer. I throw them in a smoothie. I throw them into all sorts of things. I'll do eggs one morning, and then the next morning I have an oatmeal where I'll throw in some protein powder, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and always a cup of blueberries in there. So I'm with you. I would put eggs and blueberries somewhere as number 1 and 2 on my superfood list. Absolutely love them.
Yeah. It used to be years ago where blueberries and really all berries were very seasonal. You can only find them in the spring and early summer. Nowadays, we can find blueberries and strawberries any time of the year. I mean, and any grocery store, any Walmart, Supercenter place, wherever you buy your groceries at, I guarantee you they're always going to have some kind of berries in there, and usually always blueberries.
Right. And again, in the freezer section, you can get those great big 2-pound bags of them. And yeah, absolutely love it. All right.
Those frozen ones are great for like smoothies and things.
They're wonderful. Absolutely. Yep. I'll throw them in with some Greek yogurt or some cottage cheese and just mix that up and maybe throw a couple nuts in there to give it some little crunch. But yeah, great snack. Nice way to add some protein to your blueberries. All right, Monica, what do you got next? What's your next superfood here?
My next superfood is walnuts.
Okay.
So high in antioxidants, good vitamin E, omega-3s. I love walnuts. Now, they're perishable. So if you buy like the Costco size bag of walnuts where it's like 5 pounds in there, put them in the freezer because they do go rancid pretty quickly. But walnuts are like the king of nuts, and I love some good walnuts. I love to toast them, put them on some salad, put them on yogurt, which I usually in the afternoons I'll have some blueberries with some yogurt, Greek yogurt on it, and some walnuts.
Yeah.
Is a favorite little snack of mine in the afternoon.
Yeah, I love all the nuts there. I've yet to meet one I don't like. So we typically have raw nuts around here. So I'm constantly snacking on just a small handful of nuts from time to time. It's hard to go wrong to argue with a walnut as a superfood. If you're going to pick one nut, you're right. That's a good one there, isn't it?
That's the king. Now, I love all nuts.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate.
Right.
Cashews, almonds, pistachios, macadamia nuts, and then the seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. There's so many good flax seeds.
Yeah.
There's so many good chia seeds. You said you put chia seeds into your smoothies in the morning.
Chia seeds and pumpkin
all
seeds.
All of those things are very, very healthy for you. But I think that walnuts have been shown, the studies I've seen have been shown to be higher in omega-3s than the other nuts. But all nuts are very, very good for you.
Right. That's a healthy source of fat. So you guys, don't be shying away from nuts. You have to be careful. A serving of nuts is typically 1 ounce. If you've never weighed out 1 ounce of nuts, it's not very many nuts. And that's because they are so nutrient dense. They're very also calorically very dense, so high calorie. If you're somebody who's you want to be mindful of calories, you want to eat your nuts, you just want to eat them in small amounts.
Yeah.
All right.
Another
Go
one
ahead.
of my favorite ways to eat a sweet potato or to eat walnuts is on top of a baked sweet potato. Oh, so good.
Ooh.
Have you ever tried that?
I
Take
can't
a
say I have. Yeah.
baked sweet potato. Put maybe a little pat of butter in there if you want. Put a shake of cinnamon, and then put some some toasted walnuts on top of it. Oh,
Okay.
that's so good.
There you go. So, and now we're starting to combine our superfoods because I would argue that a sweet potato, although it didn't make our top 5 list here, certainly you could make a case that a sweet potato is a superfood. I mean, it's delicious, it's sweet, it's wonderful, they're cheap, and they're packed with nutrients. So, yeah, I'll have to try that. I haven't thought about toasted walnuts on top of my sweet potato. Absolutely.
Give it a try.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hit you with one of my favorite superfoods, and this one's a little bit maybe controversial, but sardines. I don't think anybody's going to argue that it's not a superfood. I just think some people are going to go, oh, that is so gross. But I'm talking about sardines packed in some olive oil with the skin and the bones on. You want the bones and the skin specifically. You had mentioned omega-3 fatty acids. It turns out our modern diet does not give us enough of those. We want to get those any way we can. And one of the best ways you can do that is with what are called the smash fish. So that's going to be, let's see if I can get this right on the spot here. It's an acronym, SMASH. So it's sardine, mackerel, anchovy, SMA, salmon, and herring. So we don't eat a lot of herring here in the U.S., but in other countries they do. But sardines, fabulous if you like them and you can incorporate them in your diet. I suppose there's ways you could eat them. You could maybe put them on a salad or something. I just open up a tin.
Yes.
I just eat them all up, and then I typically have a piece of fruit because that's a pretty strong, let's face it, pretty strong flavor in your mouth. I want to walk around with sardine breath for the rest of the afternoon, but that's very commonly one of my afternoon snacks will be a tin of sardines and then say an apple or some blueberries or a peach, whatever, something seasonal. You a sardine person or not so much?
Not so much.
Not so much.
No,
Yeah,
not
fair.
so much. Now, I love tuna, salmon, mackerel. I love those kinds
Those are
of
the good ones,
fishes.
yeah.
But the I don't know, there's just something about when you open up that can of sardines and maybe it's the smell. Although tuna doesn't bother me, but tuna I think is not quite as strong of a smell as the sardines are. Maybe it's because you've got the bones in there with it. But now I'm not disagreeing with you. Sardines are super healthy food, very high in omega-3s, a good, excellent source of protein. They check all of the boxes. And there are other ways to eat sardines rather than just out of the little tin. I've seen recipes where you put them in salad. You put them on as a topping for things like I think I've even seen some pasta dishes that had used sardines in there. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find some. But there are other ways to eat sardines rather than just out of the can.
All right, folks. So if you've got, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a creative way to eat sardines, serve sardines, maybe you're sneaking sardines into recipes somewhere. We'd love to hear from you. Head over to the Over-50 Lean Body Blueprint. That's our private Facebook group. Love to get your comments in there, what your favorite superfoods are. Certainly, if you've got a way of eating sardines, or maybe you just feel they're too disgusting for consumption, let us know. Love to hear that as well. All right, Monica. So as we are wrapping up here, any other superfoods we want to go out on, or is that a pretty good list? We have eggs, blueberries, walnuts, and sardines so far.
I'm going to put sweet potatoes on that list. I love me a good baked sweet potato, and they're fabulous food.
They are fabulous food. Yeah, you can bake them. Yeah. I peel them up and mash them. That's part of my bulk cooking. So I'll just cook them, mash them up. I honestly don't do anything to them after that. I mean, I don't put butter in them. I don't put salt and pepper on them. I just stick them in a big Tupperware. I'll eat it cold. I'll heat it back up. I just think it's fabulous food.
One of my favorite ways to do sweet potatoes, I'll bake a bunch for dinner, and if I have one left over, the next morning I'll make it kind of to a hash brown at breakfast. So take it cold, even with the skin on it. Leave the skin on. Skin's good for you too, good fiber. But I'll chop it up into little cubes and put a little dash of salt, pepper, a little paprika, saute it in a little butter till they get a little crispy on the outside. It's a nice little hash brown.
Yeah, that sounds like a yummy hash brown.
It's really good with veggie omelet.
There you go. It goes great with a veggie omelet. It goes great with your eggs.
Yeah.
All righty, folks. That's what we got for you this week. Until next week, stay strong. Okay, folks, that is your Monday Mile for this week. Quick, simple, and packed with power. If you found this helpful, be sure to share it with a friend who's walking their own path to better health. And hey, don't forget to tune in this Wednesday for our full-length episode of the Over-50 Health and Wellness Show. Until then, keep walking, stay consistent, and as always, stay strong.